Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, and we have a brand new keyboard that we received in the mail very recently. It's actually something we've already reviewed before, but these are brand new switches from HyperX. These are the Aqua tactile switches on the HyperX Alloy Origins Core, and I've been typing on this for a couple days now, and I gotta say it is pretty awesome. Has everything similar to the version with the Reds, except this time the switches are tactile. So I'm going to open it up. Alright, out of the box we see that it has this nice plastic covering. Just going to take that off. Now I did put it back in for this review. I've actually been using it for quite some time. And in the box you have this little warranty card that you can call support if you need to, and then it has a quick start guide for all of the shortcuts and whatnot. It also comes with a braided detachable USB-C cable. Easy to get the kinks out, no problem at all. And here is the USB-C cable. And that USB-C cable fits perfectly in this hole right here, and it is recessed in a little bit, so not all USB-C cables will fit in there. And already we can see the Aqua switches here compared to the Reds, where you'll see the red popping out. This is a keyboard. I've replaced the keycaps with the original. The originals are in this plastic bag here. They are ABS keycaps. They're matte black. I'll include some B-roll right now for you to see the legends. The lighting shines through fine. There's no problem with them. They just feel cheap and flimsy, and they're fingerprint magnets. Like, you type on them for 10 minutes and it's just spacebar has some bright spots and some keys and things, so I had to replace them. These are the PBT keycaps from my drop control originally, that my drop control is using something else right now, but this looks absolutely awesome. I'm going to include some of the lighting effects and things that we'll go over later on in the video. But let's go over the keyboard. On the back here, we've got the dual adjustable kickstands. It has 2 angles, and also we have 4 rubber feet. Now the keyboard itself already has a slight natural incline from these little bumpers right here, so it's already slightly natural, and we can see that it has the floating keycaps also, which is pretty cool. And when you see it with RGB, it's like, what? It looks super amazing. We have very subtle HyperX logo right here, and then the indicators. With the original keycaps, you'll also see the HyperX logo on the spacebar, but we don't have that. If you take a look, this case is all aluminum, very sturdy, no flex at all. Super high quality build. You could just be like baseball bat this thing and it could probably sustain a hit like that without too much trouble, although I wouldn't recommend it because you're probably gonna get some kind of bump like hail on a car. Same thing, don't try it out. The USB-C port is on the right side. I tend to prefer them on the left side, so that's a downside for me. So there's 3 downsides. USB-C port only on the right, USB-C port only fits certain cords, and ABS plastic keycaps, and that's it. The price of the keyboard is around $90. We pre-ordered it, and then the keycaps that we're using on our Reds right now was a $20 upgrade, also by HyperX. The HyperX put in white keycaps, which are PBT too, and the RGB shows super brightly through those. So about, let's say, 110 for a full aluminum case keyboard with PBT keycaps. So not too bad compared to other keyboards of that same quality caliber. But for $90, there's really not much to complain about. The new Aqua switches have the exact same specs as the Reds. So 45 grams of actuation force, 3.8 millimeters total distance, and 1.8 millimeters actuation point. So the Aquas are tactile, which means they can be compared to the Cherry MX Browns, which are also tactile. And tactile just means that when you are typing and you press something, you feel a bump somewhere along the middle. And that bump is what makes it tactile compared to the reds, which are linears, and that has no bumps. So on the way down and up, it feels exactly the same, but on the tactile ones, you feel a little bit of like some kind of click without the click sound. So Cherry MX Browns have 55 grams of actuation force, 4 millimeters travel distance, and 2 millimeters actuation distance. So these are a little bit faster if you're looking at distance. They're also lighter, which means they're easier to press, which also makes them slightly faster. So gaming wise, these are gonna give you a slight advantage, very slight. 45 grams is actually really noticeable. It feels really light compared to other switches that I've used. My draw control, I'm pretty sure, is about like 65 grams of actuation. Cherry MX Browns, 55 grams. These are very light, very easy to accidentally press something and not mean it. If we look at the function row, there are secondary media keys. If you replace the keycaps, you won't have them. Even if you replace them with the HyperX keycaps, you won't have them. But there is a guide, and I've sort of memorized some of them already. So like F9 is mute, F10 is volume up, F11 volume down, F12 gamer mode, and then F1, 2, and 3 are the presets. Gamer mode, you have options depending on what you want to disable. By default, it's going to disable the Windows key. But if you download the software, which is the HyperX Ingenuity software, that you can only download through the Microsoft Store, which means you need a Microsoft account and a Windows PC. So it's only compatible for PC, PS4, and Xbox, not Mac. So don't get it for Mac. You are not going to be able to change the presets, the RGB, macros, any of that on a Mac because you won't have the software. So back to the software. You're going to download it through the Microsoft Store. It's in beta. It's a Microsoft app. It's super easy to use. When you're changing colors, you'll see them live on your keyboard, changing with you as you change them on the computer. And then you want to make sure that you save each preset and that you sync them with the keyboard's onboard memory, or else if you close the software, it'll just reset to where it was before, and all that hard work was for nothing. So currently I have 3 presets. I got my base settings, which is like a green color, and then I have like the rainbow breathing one, and then orange color, just for different design. All right, so the keyboard is pretty high quality feeling. It feels like it should cost so much more than it does because of the full aluminum case. Not many keyboards have this feature. If you watched our top 10 keyboards under $100, you'll see that none of them have a full aluminum case except this one, and this one pretty much ranks at the top at number 1. You can look at that video there and you can see that list, and we ranked them, and there's a blog post and whatnot if you're interested in that. But we really don't have any complaints about this. I would say with these keycaps, it looks absolutely amazing. With the regular keycaps, the legends are really simple. They're not really super gamery at all. The RGB shines through alright. They're alright, like there's nothing to complain about them. One awkward thing is like the numbers on the number row and the symbol next to them have no space between them, so it would be like a 1 and an exclamation mark right next to it, or like the 0 and the parentheses, and it looks a little awkward. I mean, that's just an appearance thing. Overall, it's alright. So let's go over some of the color patterns. We'll see them on the computer and then I'll read them out. So there's breathing. These are the looped effects. There's breathing, there's confetti, which I really like too. There's swipe, solid, twilight, and wave. So these are all looped effects. And then they have triggered effects, and this is what happens when you press on a key and something happens, so it triggers an event. These are explosion, fade, and implosion. And then we have one reactive pattern, which is sun. So with sun, it's the key that you press on turns yellow, and the 4 keys around it turn orange like a sun, and the base color is like a dark yellow. Hey, sorry for interrupting the review. I hope you're liking what you see right now. If you do like it, press that thumbs up button and subscribe for more mechanical keyboard reviews on this channel. We also review other tech as well. This is part of our TKL Friday series. So we're doing every Friday we're reviewing a 10 keyless mechanical keyboard. That means it's a compact layout without a number pad, and it has 87 keys just like this one. This one's 10 keyless right here, and I'll include the playlist either here or here. I don't know which side it goes on. My TKL or TGIF moment of the week, which is where we share the best thing that's happened to us all week long, is that it is spring break. So I am not working, I'm not checking my work email, I'm not getting on Microsoft Teams, I'm not going on Outlook or Skype for Business. I'm just relaxed, chill, not letting the stress get to me, and then next week it's back to work and a ton of meetings. Yay! So that's my moment. Share your moment down below and we'll get right back to the review right now. So as with most other mechanical keyboards, this one's got N key rollover and anti-ghosting, which just means that you can game and press a ton of buttons and your computer is going to know what you pressed, instead of it being like, oops, we didn't get this one. So it registers all of your clicks, so you don't need to worry about if you're like button mashing for some games, or if you're not. If you're mashing them in a strategic manner, your computer is going to know what you're talking about. It does have a fully standard layout. As you can see, we changed out all of the keycaps with no trouble with a non-HyperX branded keycap set. So you can change this out to whatever you want. If you want to see our keycaps video, we'll link one right here or on the other side. I'm still not really good at that. In that video, I think we used the YDMK Carbon on this keyboard, which looks really cool too if you're into that Halloween kind of theme. The stabilizers are cherry style stabilizers, and I guess that's another downside about this keyboard. They're relatively loud-ish, not super loud. I'm sure if you put some lube on them they'll be okay, but a little bit mushy. So a quick stabilizer sound test. So overall, not even that bad. And here's a sound test of the switches. Not bad at all. And then this one has none of them have O-rings except for these two. So this one's got one O-ring. This one's got two O-rings. 1, 2, none. So a little bit of a sound difference there. You can still feel the tactile bump on the 2 and the 1. It's just, it moves much less. There's other things you can do to dampen out sound if you want, but honestly the sound of these aren't even that bad. They're not as stocky, so like compared to the other switches that has a really big bump, that's a little more satisfying to listen to, but these aren't bad at all. Compared to MX Brown's, the Aqua switches are less scratchy during their bump too. The Browns were a little bit scratchy, but that might have been because the keycaps were sort of close together on that layout specifically. So really nice, under $100, full aluminum build, very few downsides that are pretty easily fixable. So not really many complaints. It's really rare to see a full aluminum build. The only ones I've really seen are like custom cases that you can buy or order, and then you have like the drop control, which is $200, the drop alt, which is $180. So really expensive keyboards for that full aluminum frame, but those keyboards have other features too, which raises the price a little bit. You can always replace the ABS keycaps with PVC keycaps. You can lube the stabilizers if you want. Alright, so that's the sound test. Hope you liked it. Where we compared the Aqua switches to the linear switches to the Cherry MX Browns, which are similar to the Aqua switches. So hope you enjoyed this video. I'm going to put a playlist of our TKL Fridays here where you can see all of our tenkeyless mechanical keyboard reviews, and then our top 10 mechanical keyboards under $100 here where you can see that series and how we ranked all of our keyboards. And then subscribe here if you want to. So I'll see you in the next one.